new level that I'm ready to go to, then this is an invitation that I would love for you to take me up on. Think for a moment, is it possible that right now you are operating at 10% or less of your full potential? No matter how busy you are right now, no matter how many things you've got on your plate, no matter how successful you might think you are, there's a very good chance you can 10 times your impact because you already have that potential within yourself as well. And so what we're going to be doing is going on a journey together, starting on the 10th of June, where every single day for 14 days, we are going to be unlocking a new step in the 10 times your impact microdegree, which is on our platform Genius U. We're going to have thousands of entrepreneurs working together at 10 timesing the size of your income and the size of your impact. And how is it possible to do this? Well, we have something called the impact meter, which actually allows you to be able to see how no matter which size of business you have, whether it's level 1 with 1 customer or level 2 with 10 customers or level 3 with 100, all the way up to 1 million customers, there's a way to actually shift up to that next level. Einstein says that we cannot solve problems at the same level of consciousness in which we created them. And the consciousness you need to actually step up at a 10 times level means a different structure for the business, a different level of leadership, a different way to connect with your customers. And we know exactly what it looks like at every one of these steps because we have been mentoring thousands of entrepreneurs all around the world and bringing all these tools into this system, which is called the impact meter. So when you join us on this 10 times your impact microdegree, you're going to be going for 14 days with 7 days getting all the rules of the game and then 7 days actually setting yourself up to play the game. And then we're then going to go on a 6-month journey on something called the World Game, where we get to go out there and make an impact collectively together. So why would you want to join us right now? Well, let me take you way back to when I was a student at university and I got inspired by someone called Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller at that point I knew because he was an architect. He happened to be a futurist as well, and he was looking at the future of the planet. And he was saying at that point that we are in something called the final exam. And the final exam is this concept that we are able to solve already. He said this way back in the 1970s, that we were already able to solve all of the world's greatest challenges because we had technology that allowed us to do it. He said that all of the biggest challenges are distribution challenges. Like when you talk about hunger, it's not that there isn't enough food, it's just not distributed effectively. Or poverty isn't that there isn't enough money, it's just not distributed effectively. And technology allows us to distribute far more effectively. So why, even back in the 1970s, before mobile phones, before the internet, why is it we still hadn't already solved those problems? And he said the reason was because of human consciousness, that our own consciousness was not yet at an accelerated pace that could actually harness that technology. And because technology continues to accelerate, as we've seen since then, we have a job to do, which is to accelerate our own consciousness to pass the exam. Because if we can actually all collectively work together to get to a point where we can pass that exam, where we can actually harness that technology, we can then solve all these problems. But if we don't, well then that's when we fail, because technology will then end up destroying us. And we're right at that crux today in 2018. And so when I heard that way back in the 1980s, I decided that I was going to become an entrepreneur and look for ways that I could accelerate my consciousness. And now I've been doing that through Entrepreneurs Institute, through Genius U, through Entrepreneur Resorts, with hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs all over the world. And it's all culminated in something very, very special, which I'm inviting you in right now, which is not just to learn how to 10 times your income and your impact, but to actually play the game called the World Game. This is also inspired by Buckminster Fuller, who said the best way to us to solve all the world's challenges is for us to collectively work together in a game, because humans love games. Games which are fun, which means that we want to play them because we don't feel like it's hard work, and games which are also able to allow us to collaborate, which means we're not all there simply competing with each other where it becomes a zero-sum game. And so that's what we're actually going to be doing. How does it work? When you join up, and you can see all the links are on this page for you to just join for free, come and join us and be part of a movement that's happening all over the world, which we call the Entrepreneur Movement. And when you join, you get access immediately into the 10 times your impact microdegree, where we'll all be on that together from the 10th of June. And then we are going to go for a 6-month period, which takes us from 10th of June to 10th of December, where we are going to be tracking everyone's progress. We're going to be able to measure our income through something called Genius Dollars, which tracks all your activity, it tracks the earnings that you're making, and it allows us to create our own digital currency that we can then use to trade with each other across 200 different countries and across over 1 million entrepreneurs. And the second thing is we're also going to be tracking our impact by partnering up with Buy One, Give One, that already has got an amazing process that allows you to link every one of your transactions to a giving impact towards whatever is the cause or the charity that you most believe in. We now have got through the purpose test the ability for you to find out which of the 17 United Nations global goals is your number one goal, and that allows you to then actually choose the charities aligned with your goal and work with the entrepreneurs also aligned with your goal to be able to then deliver impacts on a daily and a weekly basis. The game is a game because we're all going to be competing as we're collaborating. We're going to have the opportunity to see the rankings by city. So you can actually join whatever your home city is. You can also join whatever your cause is. You can set up your own circles if you're at a mentor level, which actually allows you also to actually bring your own tribe and actually track your own progress as well. We're going to have over $10,000 of prizes every single month, 100,000 for the entire 6-month period we're playing this game. And we're going to be sharing those rankings of how everyone around the world is working together collectively towards creating an impact, and also at the same time delivering more impact towards your own lives as well. The whole goal is to have at least 10 million impacts that we're going to deliver by having at least 7,000 people working together playing this game. You're going to be learning from others every single day through the platform. You're going to see how it works once you come on board. And Genius U allows us to do 3 big things that are the 3 biggest things you need to be doing as an entrepreneur. It allows you, first of all, to connect to the right people. That is happening through finding the right mentors. We have mentors from all over the world that can help you. You have events taking place all over the world. We have city leaders that are actually running events in their city. So there could be one happening in your city, or you yourself might decide to step up to be a city leader. We have got, as well as connecting, which is knowing the right people, we have learning, which is getting the right knowledge. And so the second part is where we have micro degrees at every one of the different levels of the impact meter. We have ways for you to find out exactly what your talents are, your purpose, your passions. So you're actually getting the right knowledge as you go as well. And then the third thing is taking the right actions. And so we have opportunities and projects that you can get involved in, where you might get people getting involved in your project, or you might be getting involved in other people's projects in a way that actually then directly impacts your income, as well as the difference you're making in the world as well. These 3 different things, which is knowing the right people, getting the right knowledge, taking the right action, is what we call show up, step up, and give back. It's a cycle that allows each of us to become truly effective as an entrepreneur. Buckminster Fuller is no longer with us. He passed away with this dream that one day we'd all get to play the world game. Why are we doing this now in 2018? And why should you come and join us right now today as well? I really believe that it's because of 3 key things that have all come together to create this perfect storm right now today. The first one is the fact that United Nations themselves have created these 17 global goals, which allow us all to then define our own purpose in a way that can work with others to really transform the world. And they've set a goal of 2030 to actually achieve all these goals. And whether it's for equality of races or equality of sexes, whether it is about the environment that you're most connected to, whether it's education, whether it's the things that I mentioned earlier in terms of poverty or in terms of ending hunger, there are 17 goals that actually have been now created for us all to be able to collectively work together to achieve those goals. And so we have now a game to play. Second thing is we also have the entrepreneur movement. You know, if I was to go back to when I was just there in university, even the word entrepreneur wasn't really used back in the 1980s. Today, there's an entrepreneur movement where there's going to be over 1 billion entrepreneurs by the year 2020. And you and I are part of that movement too. That's something Bucky never had. We have it today, and we can harness that wave to play the game. And the third thing is Genius U is our platform that allows us to intelligently play this game and collectively work together. And it's now at the point where all of us can jump in there, create our circles, create our events, learn from the micro degrees, and actually have a pathway which is a personal path to your own natural flow. So with those 3 elements together, we're ready to play the game. I want to just finish with one thought, which goes right back to the very beginning, which is this idea that you have this potential which you may not even be aware of. A good friend of mine, Marianne Williamson, she said something once which has always stuck with me because of how true it is. She says, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Come join the game with me. Click below, join for free, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.